An annual Kent State tradition is back tonight, and students are ready to sashay their way to the ballroom to celebrate the art of drag.
The first lunch with the Chiefs was this afternoon. Learn more about the new initiative to foster connection within the community.
A suspect in a stabbing in Ravenna is dead after advancing officers with an axe. We've got the update on the story tonight.
New video footage has been released of a minor being struck by Akron police. All these stories and more as KSTV starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday evening. I'm Liv Sharp.
And I'm Hayden Cruz. As part of Kent State's annual Sex Week festivities, tonight the Interhall Council hosts the Sex Week Drag Show. The show will feature not one, but two queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, Utica from Season 13 and Deja Skye from Season 14. You can also see performances from Kent State student drag queens, including the co-host for the evening, Fruitisha Punch. Again, the show is tonight at 7 in the Student Center Ballroom. Kent Interhall Council will host Stellar Self-Defense class this week. The theme is Stellar, following the overall Sex Week theme of space. Students can learn how to defend themselves properly in this class. If you want to take part, the class is tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. in the Rec Center, Studio 1.
Kent State's Cleveland Urban Design Collaborative will host the Party Wall Common Exhibition Opening and Gallery Talk with Petra Kempf tonight from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Free and open to the public, the event will be held at the Cleveland Urban Design Collaborative in Cleveland with snacks and refreshments provided. Kemp's Party Wall exhibit will be open to the public through November 25th. Today, members of the Kent community got to sit down with police chiefs and better understand their jobs and responsibilities.
Our own Nikki Gajeski was at the lunch. Nikki, good evening.
Yes, Liv and Hayden, I have more information on the lunch with chiefs. The Kent Area Chamber of Commerce always hosts luncheons on various topics, except this was their first one with a safety focus.
The police are always trying to make it a us versus them situation. So of course he gives me a mic and says, try to one-up me. I'm not going to try to one-up him. I'm just going to tell you who I am.
Wednesday's luncheon was part of a series offered by Kent Area Chamber of Commerce to give the community insight into the local safety forces and their relationship with civilians.
Every interaction we have is an opportunity to either make a deposit in the Bank of Public Trust or make a withdrawal.
We try to engage the community in a lot of ways. And we try to do anything that's asked of us, to be honest with you. Anything we can do. Last night, I spent 2 hours at Maplewood passing out candy to little kids.
Along with their practices.
It's really just being approachable, being transparent. I think some people will probably tell you that I'm too transparent. I don't believe in a lot of secrets. I'll tell most of anybody anything they want to know.
Today isn't only a lunch break. It's a chance for two-way communication between these chiefs and those who they serve. And this matters because a 2023 Virginia Tech study confirms the first 45 words an officer says during a traffic stop indicate how that stop will go.
This is a great opportunity for them to show the community that they're just people too, and that they are doing their best every day, leading our two departments and to the best that they can.
We have to have a good, open relationship to keep the community safe and prosperous.
And there's hope these conversations continue.
Really what this is going to take is a bigger push from some of the major cities in this country to do a better job of engaging the community, educating people about law enforcement, to hopefully turn that around and drum up some interest.
For those looking to continue these relationships, the police department will be at the City of Kent's Trick or Treat event this Sunday. Reporting for KSTV News, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
Thank you, Nikki. A Kent man was among 6 Ohio residents who were indicted for illegally voting in past elections. Nicholas Fontaine is a legal permanent resident of the United States, but was not a U.S. citizen when he voted in 2016 and 2018. All those indicted are facing 1 count of illegal voting, which is a Class 4 felony. Despite this, Ohio Attorney General wants to assure citizens that instances of illegal voting are rare. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations is investigating a deadly shooting in Ravenna.
According to a release from Ravenna Police, the incident happened yesterday morning around 11:45 on the Portage Hike and Bike Trail. Police responded to the stabbing victim on the trail. While rendering aid, the alleged suspect approached the officers with an axe. Officers ordered the suspect to drop the axe and stop advancing, and when he did not, they opened fire. The suspect has been identified as Matthew James Fries.
A warning, the video you're about to see contains violence. Video has surfaced of Akron police officers striking a student at Firestone Community Learning Center. The video shows an unnamed 16-year-old being repeatedly punched by officers after allegedly refusing to comply with them. The student was asked to go through metal detectors 4 times before a scuffle broke out and the student was hit by officers. Akron police have said an investigation is ongoing.
Cuyahoga County is helping formerly incarcerated residents with one-time housing costs. In February, the county put $100,000 towards the Rapid Reentry Housing Assistance Program. People who were released from a state prison, county jail, halfway house, or correctional facility within the last 365 days are eligible to apply for program funding, covering up to $720 of the one-time costs included overdue or first-time month's rent pay. The program requires people to have a form of income set since it is a short-term financial help.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
As we transition into these chilly fall temperatures, experts are warning Ohio residents about an influx of bugs entering homes. And yes, Kent State students, that does include dorms.
Among those are box elderbugs, Asian lady beetles, and stink bugs. These bugs are harmless to pets and humans, but can emit a foul odor when crushed.
Make sure to keep doors and windows closed tightly. Well, this is a bad outcome of the fall weather, but I'm still enjoying the autumn temps. How about you guys?
Oh, of course.
Oh, 100%. We had a scorching hot summer, so.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still staying warm, but we're still getting into that fall season, which is nice. Speaking of which, Eli, tell us more about these fall temps. Are we going to expect more heat?
Will do, Hayden. Good evening, Portage County. Let's buzz right into Wednesday's weather. We are going to start with right now our hourly forecast. 6 p.m. we are at a high of 65 degrees. We have a little bit of clouds and a little bit of sun as this Wednesday ends, and only a 4% chance of precipitation. As the night goes on, going into midnight, it'll be a 52 degrees, 6% chance of precipitation. And then in the morning tomorrow on Thursday, 8 a.m., we're going to be having a cold 45 degrees, so definitely grab a light jacket as you head out the door with a 13% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow we will be having a high of 58 degrees and a low of only 36. It is going to be partly cloudy throughout the day, so we'll have little bits of sun, and we're going to be having 6-mile-per-hour winds heading north to northwest for that Thursday we have. Right now we're going to dive into our northeastern region. Right now in Cleveland we are at 64 degrees, Sandusky with 66 degrees, Mansfield over here in this corner we have 70 degrees, pretty warm if we think about middle to late October. Worcester even higher, 73 degrees. Ashtabula with 64 degrees. We have Youngstown with a similar 66, and Kent with a low compared to the rest of our major cities. We have only 61 degrees right now in this 6 p.m. hour. Make sure to stick around for more from me covering our current statewide weather for this evening, as well as our upcoming forecast for this week. Back to you, Liv and Hayden.
Thank you, Eli. A recent E. coli outbreak has left McDonald's around the country without one of their best sellers. Find out what states are affected and McDonald's president's response.
After comments made by former President Donald Trump during the presidential debate about the 1985 Central Park 5 case, the Central Park 5 themselves are suing for defamation.
At Kent State University, we want all students to develop a global perspective. And with more than 200 study abroad programs in 60 countries, there are many opportunities. One is found in the Central African country of Rwanda, where students connect with survivors of the 1994 genocide.
We're learning about the reconciliation process. Rwanda sort of took a very community-based approach to how they recovered.
In January, a group of Kent State student athletes traveled to Rwanda, where they organized a soccer camp for children.
While we were there, we got to work with kids and spread our knowledge about sports.
And we brought shoes, cleats, soccer balls for everybody.
It was a transformational experience.
The people of Rwanda were full of joy. They were also full of excitement and life.
I think the big thing that I'm going to take home personally from the experience is perspective. There's not just one way to do things.
This was unlike any other academic experience I've ever had.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Julie was always a reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
We have new updates on the McDonald's Quarter Pounder E. coli outbreak that has left 49 sick and 1 dead. McDonald's has stopped the use of their beef patties and slivered onions in the affected states as the CDC investigates. McDonald's USA President Joe Erlinger said that he's still confident that people can go to McDonald's and enjoy their food despite the outbreak. There is currently a food safety alert issued across 10 states.
Denny's announced Tuesday it's closing 150 restaurants in the upcoming years. 50 of them will close by the end of this year, with another 100 diners set to close in 2025, leaving close to 1,400 locations still open. But corporate Denny's is stepping back on requiring franchisees to stay open 24 hours a day. About 25% of all Denny's never went back to 24/7 operating hours after the pandemic. Denny's also plans to cut its menu options by more than half, going from 97 choices to 46.
Transitioning now into political news, Representative Jamie Raskin, a member of the House Oversight Committee, raised concerns about former President Trump's campaign's refusal to commit to a smooth transition of power if Trump were to lose the 2024 election. Both Kamala Harris's and Trump's campaigns were supposed to enter into a memorandum of understanding as a part of the transition process, but Trump's campaign has missed several of those deadlines.
Members of the Central Park Five are suing former President Donald Trump for defamation over his comments about their case. The 5 men were teenagers when they were wrongfully convicted of raping and beating a white female jogger in Central Park in 1989. The teens spent years in prison and were exonerated in 2002, when DNA evidence linked another person to the crime. During his September debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump said they pleaded guilty. The lawsuit alleges those statements were defamatory because the plaintiffs never pled guilty to the Central Park assaults.
Vice President Kamala Harris is answering voter questions this evening at a CNN town hall in key battleground state, Pennsylvania. The special will air tonight at 9 p.m. on CNN, and Anderson Cooper will moderate. The audience will consist of undecided voters who are from Pennsylvania. President Trump declined to participate in a second debate with Harris and has not responded to invites for his own town hall.
The IRS has announced changes for the 2025 tax year. New tax brackets reflect an increase of about 2.8% since 2024. As for adjustments to standard deductions, for single tax filers, the standard deduction will increase $400 from 2024 to $15,000. Filing jointly, the standard deduction will increase to $30,000, a jump of $800 from 2024. These policies will apply to income earned next year, which means it affects tax returns in 2026.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Let's get back to our Kent State and Portage County weather forecast for this Wednesday evening. We'll also take a look at our surrounding areas, including weather statewide. First, we're going to start with our major Ohio cities. We have Toledo in the 60s still, even in the 6 o'clock hour tonight, 64 degrees. Columbus jumping up to 73 degrees. And Cincinnati with a pretty hot, pretty blazing for middle end of October, you could say, 75 degrees. Athens with a same 75 degrees. Pittsburgh over with, similar to Columbus, we got 73. And Akron, Canton staying around the same as Toledo, much lower than those southern major cities of Ohio. We have only a high of 64 degrees right now. Let's dive into this extended forecast of what this next week is going to look like. As we covered Thursday, tomorrow is going to be a high of 58 with a low of 36, a 12% chance of precipitation. We're going to have a little bit of sun and a bit of clouds. On Friday, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty cloudy day with a high of 63 and a low of 46, jumping up a little bit to a 15% chance of precipitation. Saturday and Sunday, we are getting a sunny weekend with a high of 55, low of 34 on Saturday, high of 56, and a low of 35 on Sunday. We move over to the start of next week. We have a high of 66 and a low of 51, keeping those sunny days going. So Monday, we will not need as many layers as you may think as we are going into the end of October. And then Tuesday, a high of 71, low of 57, back to partly cloudy days, but only a 2% chance of precipitation. And jumping up the highest in this next coming week, next Wednesday, a week from today, high of 75, low of 59, and partly cloudy. Make sure to check back tomorrow evening for more weather-related content and updates. As always, I'm your Wednesday weather anchor, Eli Federspiel. See you next week, Portage County.
Thank you, Eli. Reza Karimi, an Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps member, has been charged in the United States for allegedly plotting to assassinate an Iranian-American journalist. The journalist is Mousseh Alinejad, a well-known critic of the Iranian government and an advocate for women's rights. This is the latest in a string of intimidation schemes where Iran has attempted to silence critical journalists.
Israel's military claims to have killed Hashem Safiuddin in an airstrike. Safiuddin was the favored successor to Hezbollah's recent leader who died in September. The airstrike targeted a member of senior Hezbollah's leaders at the beginning of this month. Safiuddin was presumed to be at the meeting, and rumors of survival went around for several weeks. Despite the military's claims, there has still not been an official confirmation of death.
Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has confirmed that North Korea has deployed troops to Russia to help with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. South Korean intelligence has said that approximately 3,000 North Korean troops have been undergoing training in Russia. Russia and North Korea have denied any troop movements, but many are calling this an act of desperation by Russian President Vladimir Putin.
At least 4 people were killed and 14 others injured when armed assailants attacked Turkey's state-run aerospace company Wednesday. The attack took place at the headquarters of Turkish Aerospace Industries on the outskirts of the capital city of Ankara. It's one of the largest defense companies in the nation and produces armed drones and fighter jets. 2 attackers were killed and 3 of the injured are in critical condition. There's no word on who was behind the attack.
The Cleveland Browns made a couple of adjustments in the middle of the season after their 1-6 start. We have the updates in your KSTV Sports Report.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, Kitty Cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
My name is Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. Part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to your KSTV Sports Report. I'm Dom O'Brien, and we have some updates for a couple of the Cleveland teams, but first we'll start with the Golden Flashes as the Kent State men's golf team ended their fall season with a team win at the Dayton Flyer Invitational yesterday. The Flashes beat the Marquette Golden Eagles by 2 strokes after the final round of play. Jordan Gilkison led Kent State, finishing 3 under, and claimed the individual title for his first win in his collegiate career. Congratulations to the Golden Flashes on a great season, as they won't head back to the links until the Howell Williams Intercollegiate in February. And now we'll move over to the basketball court. The Cleveland Cavaliers start their first game of the regular season tonight in Toronto against the Raptors. The Cavs are coming off of a 48-34 record from last season and reached the Eastern Conference semifinals before getting bounced by the Boston Celtics. Cleveland will be without Imani Bates, who is still recovering from meniscus surgery, and Max Strus, who's out with a right ankle sprain. The game tips off at 7:30 p.m. and can be found on the FanDuel Sports Network. Now we'll go to the other team in Cleveland, as the Browns made a couple of announcements regarding the future of this season. Head coach Kevin Stefanski announced quarterback Jameis Winston will start this weekend for their division game against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Winston moves into the starting role following injuries to both Deshaun Watson and Dorian Thompson-Robinson in their game against the Bengals last week. That will not be the only change for Cleveland, as Stefanski announced an offensive coordinator switch-up where Ken Dorsey will be taking over play-calling duties. This will be the first time Stefanski will not call plays for the Browns since becoming head coach in 2020. The Browns have failed to score at least 20 points throughout their season, and this is the longest drought in 15 years. Cleveland also signed quarterback Bailey Zappi off the Chiefs' practice squad yesterday to back up Winston if Thompson-Robinson is inactive. And finally, some sad news. Former MLB pitcher Fernando Valenzuela passed away last night at the age of 63. Valenzuela stepped away from broadcast duties prior to the Dodgers' postseason to focus on his health. Valenzuela was a 6-time All-Star, finished with 173 regular season wins and over 2,000 strikeouts. Valenzuela is also the only player in MLB history to win a Cy Young and Rookie of the Year award in the same season. His cause of death was unknown. May he rest in peace. But that's all we have for sports today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dom O'Brien, and now we'll send it back to Hayden.
All right, thank you, Dom. Well, the popular cheddar cracker Goldfish is getting a rebranded, fancier name for a limited time to benefit an older audience. Will you be able to snag the snack that smiles back?
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I just moved in with this family,
and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are on your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
For a limited time, Goldfish crackers will be called Chilean sea bass. Their parent company, Pepperidge Farms, hopes that the more sophisticated name will help expand its audience, as sales of snack foods continue to drop after peaking during the pandemic. The crackers will look and taste the same, but the company said the move is a playful reminder that the snack isn't just for kids. The rebranded snacks are available online only for 1 week starting today. Now, today's drop has sold out, but you can try again tomorrow at 9 a.m.
You know that gross slime and sludge that sometimes sits in your dishwasher? Well, scientists are saying those microbes might help slow global warming. Researchers are looking for specific microbes in dishwashers, shower heads, or even water heaters, as they may one day help break down pollution. For more info, go online at twofrontiers.org.
That is disgusting.
We'll get to the slime in a second, but during the break, we discovered kind of a hot take from Hayden. Hayden, care to tell us your thoughts on Goldfish crackers?
So as I just explained,
Yes.
this new rebrand for Goldfish, I actually don't like Goldfish at all.
Which is crazy, because the four of us, we love Goldfish, right?
Now, I will say, I'm not going to say I'm on Hayden's side. I am more of a Cheez-Its fan
Oh, I love
myself,
Cheez-Its. I
respect
but that
that.
does not mean I'm going to turn away from my loyalty to Goldfish.
I don't like Goldfish. Never have, never will.
Not like any of the variations, not the rainbow, not
variations
the
are
ranch.
fine. No, those are fine. The s'mores ones are delicious.
The s'mores ones?
But
Wait. If you like the s'mores one, that means you like Goldfish.
The original one is
All right,
bad.
doesn't count. That is all the
Debatable.
time we have left for the night. Thank you for joining us.
For the latest updates on stories that impact our community, go to the Kent Wired website and follow us on social media. I'm Hayden Cruz.
I'm Liv Sharp.
I'm Dom O'Brien.
I'm Eli Fettersfield.
And I'm Nikki Gajeski.
Have a great night, Portage County.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah. You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Nice.